You can see on the left here I have a personal calendar open. This personal calendar is mine. I've put a whole bunch of data on it. In particular, this data series is for the Major League Baseball 2025. I'm going through the picker here in the schedule. Let's pick out some random games and send out calendar invites to show you how we've built this thing called the Calendar Invite Server. The Calendar Invite Server here is a bunch of resources talking to APIs, in which these APIs are talking to front ends. These front ends we've built here called the Calendar Snack Engine is a demo interface I'll be showing you here today. And the demo interface is talking backwards to the APIs, which is talking to the data that is residing in the Calendar Invite Server for the MLB. So when I go back to live demo, let's just take a peek at two things. You'll see that here on the right is a Calendar Snack Engine talking to the AWS Calendar Invite Server. We're going to go here to the 10th. You can see in upcoming events, there's 1,000 events left for the MLB. It's July 10th. Let's just drill into the July 10th data set. You can see I'm in the same data set over here on the personal calendar. I'm going to go down to a game. Let's pick out the Reds versus Cincinnati. And what I'm going to do is update the data here. This updated data, I'm going to say is come by the booth at the game. That booth will be, make up one, 4:35 for a free beer in the 7th inning. So we're just going to update the data here, and you're going to see that the updated data is going to be pushed to the AWS Calendar Invite Engine. That data for Cincinnati will show up over here magically, and I'll show you how that's done here quickly in a slide. So let's go down to Cincinnati. There it is there. There'll be no calendar invite set up, but you'll see that this data here now came from this data set over here on a personal calendar. And we're doing that through something called the ingest portion of our technology. So through ingest, I pushed an update, which does a +1 on the database. When it hits the simple email service box, we disassemble it. It gets stored in S3 and then into DynamoDB. What we do here is, in the update, is do the incremental. So we disassemble it and reassemble it in the database to be sent out on the AWS Calendar Invite Server. So let's kind of get back to the demo. How do we send out calendar invites? Well, we generate them on these pages. Again, this is a free app that comes with our stack. When you buy the AWS Calendar Invite Server, you download it and get this free stack to kind of take a peek at how we built some of this tech out. And you'll see that here, Cincinnati Reds will have the same data set in it, booth 435. So let's go back here and incrementally step through what's going on in the data set. How data is pushed through visualization. I'm going to go ahead and change this. Free beer in the 7th inning and a hot dog. So you're going to see an incremental push here, which is push number 2. If you're counting the pushes, we're going to push the data through. That takes a little bit of time, but let's just go ahead and refresh this render engine here, which is the embedded calendar invite pages. And as I get to the Cincinnati Reds here, you'll see that the data has been updated here. So what happens though, when you push out this page to a customer like Zach, I'm taking on the point of view of Zach now as a customer downstream, and he wants to go to this game. He's going to send himself a calendar invitation, and that invite's going to show up in his personal inbox. You'll see it here in a little bit. There's the live demo. And Zach is going to say maybe, but you'll see that the data set itself's been updated here. Booth 435, we did a free beer in the 7th inning, and then we added the hot dog. Now he's going to say maybe to this event stream itself. So for him, that's really the first one he's received. Now in data management, it's essentially the second push. How would you know that? Well, let's go to view events. We'll go here to the 10th. We're going to go into Cincinnati and look at the data set. And you can see that we sent out a calendar invite to Zach. That was a self-administrated one off a web page. He wanted it. He clicked one button, got a calendar invite. You can see it came off a landing page here as we're tracking the data. But you'll see that there's 2 updates already to the original data set. So what we're going to do is change it one more time and end the demo. So we'll go back to Cincinnati Reds, go to a particular game there. We'll say hot dogs plus a free iPad for fun. I'm going to push this data once more to the Calendar Invite Server engine on AWS we built. And you'll see that this data set will show up here in the engine itself. Here's the free iPad, but what happens to Zach downstream? Well, you'll see here that if I refresh this page here also for July 10th for Cincinnati, this data here has been pushed to here in the render engine, and it's also been pushed to Zach. So that means anybody downstream that received a calendar invite from the AWS Calendar Invite Server receives the updated event information. And I'm going to say that he's going to say yes now to this game. So you'll see it here. It hit his client inbox on his email, but more importantly, it's on his calendar. And what I'm going to do here is view it on the calendar. It's going to open up the calendar itself. And you'll see that the game here is on Zach's calendar. I'm going to go back to the inbox, and I'm going to show you essentially where this data now has been updated one more time on the Calendar Invite Server engine. And you'll see it right here that we've done 3 updates. I'm going to shut down the demo. There you go. Thank you.